Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Pfister Growler in Grand Theft Auto Online. This is on sale this week, so I figured again I would customize it and just see what we can do with this car. Kind of have an idea for a build in mind. I want to go for kind of a Cayman GT4 RS build for this. So we're gonna do our best to do that. Obviously for the armor we're gonna go all the way up. The brakes we're gonna go all the way up on those as well. For the front bumper we have a few different options. I want to go for the performance bumper, I think, because I think it's going to be actually, you know what, the stock bumper looks pretty aggressive itself. I'm actually going to keep the stock bumper, I think. Now for the rear bumper we can change it up quite a bit. We're going to go for the smooth dual vented bumper because I think that's pretty aggressive looking, so we'll do that. For the strut brace we will put on the titanium strut brace. It's usually the one that I go for. Engine tunes, I'm going to go all the way up on that. For the exhaust we have a few different options here. We got carbon, titanium. We got just tons of different things that we can do. I like the look of the dual bore exhaust, so I think I'm probably gonna go for the titanium dual bore exhaust, but we're gonna see, because there is another one that I like the look of. The expansive exhaust is kind of cool too. I think we'll go for the dual titanium though. I feel like it looks pretty good. For the fender vents, we are going to go for a carbon fender vent, I think, because that looks pretty aggressive, so I like the look of that. For the hood catches, I want to go for the angled hood catches if we can. Yeah, let's go for the angled rally catches. I like the look of that. For the hood itself, we have a lot of different things that we can do here, so we'll just scroll through these and see which one we actually want to go for. We can also put fog lights, which is kind of cool, but I think we're going to go for the carbon race vents because it's a pretty aggressive look, so I like that. We'll do that. For the dash, we got to go for the carbon track prepped interior, obviously. For the dials, we'll mount some gauges and the tachometer and everything there. I like that. For the doors, I'm going to keep it stock. I just like the doors stock. I think that they just look kind of better that way. I'm going to go for the ballistic fiber, or maybe, no, carbon bucket seats. I like the carbon bucket seats. For the steering wheel, Rally Clubman as usual. For the roll cage, do we want to actually have one? That is the question. It does kind of, add to the race look. You know what? I think I'm gonna go for the primary half cage because I don't really love the full roll cage, but the half cage is kind of sick. Xenon lights, we gotta add those on, obviously. For the lip spoiler, we can add a little ducktail onto this car. There's a lot of different options here, actually. We'll go for the there's a part of me that wants to go for the extreme ducktail, but I just don't know if it's gonna look super great. You know what, we're gonna go for it anyways because I don't really care. Why not? For the livery, I want to go for the black Pfister livery to start with, at least. We'll see if there's anything else. We got the Growler livery. We have the dual stripe livery as well. It's kind of cool. We have the Pfister stripe. You know what, that's actually a cool livery. I think we're gonna go for that one instead, actually. We got the camo. I can't see it. We got the Zero Racer. That's actually a really cool livery too. We have the Fleesa Circuit, the Cover Up, and Back to None. I like this livery. I think it's gonna look really good for what we're doing here. We're gonna go carbon mirrors on this thing. We are also gonna do the plate in yellow on black. For the respray of the car, I want to go for, there's a color that I've seen the GT4 RS in, and it's something kind of similar to a shadow silver. So we'll go for that for the primary color. For the secondary color, it affects the interior and the brake calipers. So I think I want to go for something a little brighter maybe, and I think that what I want to do is maybe go for a ultra blue, just because it's the calipers and it's the interior of the car. It doesn't really affect anything else though, so I think that it looks pretty good. So we'll go for that. For the trim color itself, we'll go black on that. For the accent color, which is of course the gauges, I kind of like them in ice white. It's nice and easy to see, so we'll just leave that alone. For the rear splitter, now this is where we can add some more stuff onto the car to make it look a little bit crazier. I do just kind of like the carbon lip splitter, so we'll go for that. For the roof accessories, we can add a light bar, a roof rack. We got the aero box as well that we can add here. I'm not a big fan of it though, so I'm actually just going to leave everything off of the roof. For the skirts, we do have a few different options here. Some of the carbon stuff does look pretty good, so we'll go for the carbon extended skirts. Nothing too crazy there. I feel like some of the other stuff looks a little too nuts. skirts, like the rally skirts, I'm not really a super big fan. For the splitter though, we do have a lot of different options here, and I want to go for one that's kind of aggressive. I want some canards on this thing. So I think what we're going to do is go for the Carbon GT race splitter. I think that looks pretty aggressive. I do like the look of it, so we'll do that. For the spoiler, we can go for the low level wing. We have the GT wing as well, the street wing, the rally wing, the race wing, the drag spoiler, and of course the extreme wing. I think the extreme wing's a little too much, but the race wing seems about right. So I think we're gonna go for the little race wing there. It looks pretty good, I think. It's not too big, it's not too small. Looks just generally pretty good. Now we can add a sun strip onto this thing. It does look kind of good, but we don't have any other livery like sponsors on the car, so we're just gonna leave it off. For the suspension, we are gonna lower it down all the way. For the taillights, we can tint the glass, of course. I kind of like the Neo light glass, so we'll go for that on the rear taillights. On the transmission, we're going all the way up on that. The turbo, we gotta add that onto the car as well, obviously. For the vents, we can do the side vents to be, you know, a little bit extended. I do like it in carbon, so we'll go for the carbon curve vent. That's pretty cool. For the wheels, I really like the stock wheels, actually. They look really, really good. Let's go into the track section here and see if there's anything that we really like. I feel like the expressways look super good on this car, so I'm gonna go for those. And for the color of these, I don't want to go for something like super typical, so we could go stone silver, we could go frost white. I kind of want to go for something a little crazier though. You know, we could go for like a bronze or something like that. Bronze does look pretty good, but I kind of want to go for something kind of like unique and cool. So I almost want to go for like a, ooh, midnight purple. Midnight purple looks sick. We're gonna go for that. I feel like it's not too noticeable, you know, from a distance, maybe it could look like black. We're gonna go bulletproof tires on this car. For the windows, we gotta tint these all the way out as well. And that is pretty much it for the car. I think that this thing looks super, super good. The only thing that I'm wondering about is that little ducktail spoiler. I feel like it's a little too much. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is go for the primary ducktail instead. I think that's a little, yeah, it's a little better looking in my opinion. So that's it for the customization. It's time to take this thing down to the ground. We're gonna do a sound test, and of course we're gonna do a full review on the car as well. So we'll see you there. All right, so let's see how the Pfister Growler actually sounds. It sounds pretty good. The Pfister Growler, I mean, it sounds like a Pfister. That's pretty much all I can say. It sounds good. It doesn't sound bad. I definitely like how this car sounds. Now, the thing that's kind of weird is when you put a roll cage on this car, and I've noticed this with not only this car, but if you have a roll cage in the back, the window tint doesn't like work properly, I feel like. So it's kind of odd, kind of annoys me slightly. Obviously that Jeep just got absolutely trucked, which is quite annoying. Yeah, okay. Now it's time to get into the actual review of the Pfister Growler. So this thing came out with the Tuners DLC. The Tuners cars have had kind of an unstable few months since the Tuners DLC, or I guess more of a year now since the Tuners DLC came out. These cars have gone through several different changes. They were all extremely fast when they first came out, especially with low grip tires. In a straight line, these cars were unbelievably fast. Then they got nerfed with the Contract DLC, and then with the Criminal Enterprises DLC, they got fixed again. Not much, just a little tiny bit. So, you know, they've had kind of a troubled past, if you will. But now I do feel like the Tuners cars are in a pretty good state in GTA Online. The Pfister Growler, I can say, feels pretty damn good to drive. The only thing with this car is the back end, when it's under throttle, likes to step out on you. It likes to drift. It definitely likes to oversteer. However, if you let go of the accelerator while you are turning, the car is not terrible. You know, when you're turning, but that's kind of an annoying thing to have to just let go of the accelerator entirely when you're in a turn. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but it is mildly annoying, I would say. The Pfister Growler, it's still a really, really good car, but that is definitely a thing that I've noticed with the handling of this vehicle. You really cannot, you know, accelerate while you're in a corner, because that will cause this thing to kind of spin out. With that being said, the handling is pretty decent, even with the little spin outs, and when you do accelerate when you're going through a corner, you know, you can manage it. It's just, you know, mildly annoying, I would say. The acceleration of the car it's decent. For the money, you know, you could definitely do better acceleration wise. For example, the Pegasi Zentorno, even the Coil Voltic, I feel like accelerates a lot faster than this thing. But the Pfister Growler does have a semi-decent top speed still. It still does, you know, kind of carry over its original Tuners DLC top speed, which was a little bit higher. With low grips, it still does have a bit of a higher top speed, I believe, but not by much. Not enough to actually warrant using low grips on it, you know, at regular times, I would say. So the Pfister Growler, as a Tuners DLC car and against all the other Tuners cars, it's not a bad vehicle. If you want to use this thing in Tuners races, I would say that you could probably win a few of them. It's really not a bad car, especially once you get the hang of it. It's pretty fun to drive. It's obviously got great customization. As you guys saw when I was customizing this thing, there's so much that you can do to it, you know, to make it a little bit more unique and make it your own. You can, you know, go to a bunch of car meets and you will probably never see a Pfister Growler that looks anything like yours, because there's just so many options for it, which is a really cool feature about this car, I think. Overall, I'd say while this thing is on sale, if you want to get a Pfister Growler, now is the best time to do it. When it's not on sale, I can't necessarily say that I super recommend it unless you're a big fan of like the Porsche Cayman or just Porsches in real life. It's a solid car, but it's not, you know, a very solid car, I would say. It's good enough. It could be a lot better, you know, with some more improvements to the car, especially in the handling department. I feel like the Pfister Growler could be a far superior vehicle, but unfortunately it just isn't right now. You know, if it's on sale, I'd say maybe pick it up, but if it's not on sale, I would say only get it if you really like Porsches and you just want to have the car and you're not really trying to use it to win any races. It's a good free mode car, not exactly the best race car, that's for sure, and especially in the sports category. If you use this thing in a stunt race, for example, you are probably never going to win. So anyway guys, that is pretty much it for the Pfister Growler customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.